Hello, I'm Corey Newton. And the reason that I care about the nuclear, biological, and chemical contamination occurring up the road from me are for three reasons. One, because I'm right down the road, obviously. Two, because I'm immune to anthrax. And three, I've spent a significant amount of time in various gas chambers around the world filled with a high concentration of CS. I was in a Marine Corps infantry battalion from 1996 to 2000. This was a time when nuclear, biological, and chemical contamination was taken seriously, and nuclear, biological, and chemical attacks were taken seriously. And I was taught, and I was trained, that no matter how inconvenient, uncomfortable, embarrassing, or humiliating of a situation that you have evidence of such nuclear, biological, and chemical contamination, or you have a reasonable suspicion to assume that there's nuclear, biological, and chemical contamination, you say something about it. You let everybody know. And it's not about you're first and you found out first and oh, look at me, look what I found. No. It's about saving lives. That's what it's about. When you have an idea that there's a chemical contamination, what do? You say, gas, gas, gas. And everybody can put on a gas mask and everybody has a chance. So that way everybody has a chance. That's what it's about. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about everybody else can have a chance to survive. That's what it's about. And we used to have these little triangular, upside down triangular markers. And then when there was evidence that something was contaminated, okay, or there was a suspicion that everything was contaminated, we would stop what we were doing in training, at least training for what was supposed to happen, and thank God never did. And the way it was supposed to go was, all right, we're going to stop what we're doing. This is some people who are trained in this. We're going to send them out there to confirm or be able to deny at least what the hell is going on out there. So they would go in and they would check it out. And if it came back positive, they would say, yeah, it's positive. We need to go somewhere else. Or, okay, it's positive, but you guys need to get geared up. You guys need to get ready and prepared to go through it. So they would mark it. You mark it with these little triangles. Certain colors were for atomic, nuclear. Other colors were chemical. Other colors were for biological. And you put little flags, or you cordon the area off, or whatever. If you had to move through it, whatever, you got prepared, and you went through it. So when there are 8 pages of water chemistry results indicating nuclear, biological, and chemical contamination, 1 mile up the road from my house, and the lowest form of spineless cowards on the planet don't say anything about it, and they try to hide it. It pisses me off. And when you have a report entitled Water Chemistry Results related to groundwater, water, flooding, and worsening, and the water chemistry tables that is threw across my house do not even appear on the table of contents. They appear on the next page in the tables page. Tables 3 through 5 that nobody reads and nobody knows about. And the acknowledgement page thanks, Ira Stern and some guy from Ulster County Health Department who provided water quality data on homeowner wells. Who do they provide it to? They provided to a report that nobody read. They were provided to a report A 50-page report is where they're provided in the last 8 pages after all the references are cited. A report that I produced, a 46. Listen to how crazy this is. I produced a 46-page report on a 50-page report that nobody read. And then you have water quality field parameters, major inorganic constituents and nutrients, trace elements. Okay, I don't know if you can see this. I didn't make a supplementary. Trace elements. Maybe you could see it. Yeah, there you go. All right, there's nothing. There's no indication of where it was tested. SR isotopes, everything. So everything that's important, there's no trace of. But everything else is insignificant. It was analyzed at the Isotope Laboratory in Menlo Park, California. It was analyzed at Reston Stable Isotope Laboratory, Reston, Virginia. It was analyzed at the Dissolved Gas Laboratory, Reston, Virginia. It was analyzed at CFC Laboratory, Reston, Virginia. It was analyzed at the Isotope Tracer Laboratory, Menlo Park, California. But the stuff that I threw across my house, the arsenic, the barium, the beryllium, the cadmium, the chromium, the thallium, the uranium, it doesn't say. It doesn't say where that got analyzed. How convenient is that? How convenient is that? Oh, no. Everything else is not important. We'll tell you where that was analyzed. But the really serious stuff that's destroying people's lives and killing them. No, there's no notation for that. That's not to be notated. You're going to stand up and say something or you're not. Okay? There is uranium at concentrations that'll blow your mind. Absolutely disgusting. There are levels of arsenic that'll blow your mind. There are levels of barium, beryllium, cadmium, chromium, thallium. You know what thallium is? Thallium is more toxic than cyanide. Okay? This is KGB stuff. This used to be in rat poison until it was banned in 1975. So why are there concentrations of thallium 1,000 to 2,000 times above the acceptable limit? Why? Where is that? Where the hell is that coming from? You're not going to say anything? Nobody's going to say anything? The spineless cowards, the lowest form of life, who produces those numbers and didn't say anything, need to be sitting in handcuffs in front of a federal judge really soon to account for their failures. And that's why I'm doing this. It's not about me. It's not about, oh, look at me. No, this is about saving people's lives. Because people's lives are being destroyed, and people are being killed really slowly in the worst possible way. And they don't even know it. So luckily, my 46-page report about a 50-page report that nobody read is starting to get circulated in the community. And I ask if you're from outside the community, this is every single level of government has failed us. So it's at this point, it's a completely organic and holistic solution to this because everybody else has failed. They've already decided how this is going to turn out. Okay? So now it's up to us and the people up the road to decide how this is going to turn out, how it's going to be handled. And the report's just getting out there, so they're starting to absorb this information and process it and understand what it means to them and to their families, and to their children, and to their hopes and to their dreams. This is just starting to sink in. So I ask, if you're not from the area, do not disturb it. I ask if you are from the area to let people know. Loved ones, or a loved one may know someone who's in this area. They need to know. They have a right to know. Because everybody else has failed them. And if I'm the bad guy for yelling gas, 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 if I'm the bad guy for saying this is contaminated, look good, I don't care. I do not care. Because this is about saving lives. This is about me. This is about whatever. It's not about that. Has nothing to do with it whatsoever. But I need everybody to know this is dead serious. And with every level of government has failed us in the worst way. Because these spineless cowards failed. Because it was inconvenient, it was uncomfortable, it was embarrassing, and it was humiliating for them. Spineless cowards. 8 pages of water chemistry results sitting out there for 2 years. 2 years. Nobody said anything. Nobody notified anybody. Hey, excuse me. This is inconvenient, uncomfortable, embarrassing, and humiliating, but there is some serious contamination on your property, and I'm here to help you. We'll work through this together. No, that's not what they did. That's not what they did. They covered it up. And it's so bad that it's not incompetence. This is absolute intentional negligence, intentional misconduct. Probably going up to some of the highest levels of every organization that we can think of. And people's lives are being destroyed, and people are being killed real slow. And I don't care. I'm going to let him know. We need to know. People need to know about this in order to save their lives. And it makes me absolutely sick. Here I am, right down the road, thinking I bought my house, I have my little slice of the American dream, and I want to just hold on to it and expand it as much as I can. Ha ha! Yeah. And we got spineless cowards. Spineless, lowest form of life cowards who have 8 pages of water chemistry results indicating nuclear, biological, and chemical contamination. It's too inconvenient, it's too uncomfortable, it's too embarrassing, humiliating for them. So they would rather keep their mouths shut and destroy people's lives and kill them slowly and stand up and do the right thing. So, looking forward to seeing them in handcuffs real soon. Have a great weekend.